welcome to another RSR. Tonight, we're going to do part 1 of the CONCACAF World Cup roster recap, reactions, reviews, type of stuff like that. That's what we're going to do. Part 1, maybe there's 3, maybe there's 2. Canada's the 13th. I don't know when Mexico pops out, but I don't think it's popped out yet. But that'll be a part 2. Even if it already has, Mexico will be a part 2. But we'll start with Costa Rica because we already knew this for about a week. And it's not the main event. We'll do US second. But here we go. Paper pop. Let's get this going. Starting off with the goalkeepers. Keylor Navas of PSG, Esteban Alvarado of Herediano, and Patrick Sequeira of CD Lugo for Costa Rica. I'm not shocked about Navas being the starter. That was obvious. We all knew that. There's no shock there. The fact that there is no Lionel Mejera, CONCACAF League runner-up, Lionel Mejera. Normally your backup. Why is he not there? He didn't get hurt in the CONCACAF League final. That was the last game he played. Why is he not there? If Brian Ruiz is there, Mejera could be there. Is Alvarado and Sequeira that much better? Alvarado played okay for Herediano throughout the CONCACAF League, but Alvarado's a third keeper. It should be Mejera as the backup. If you need them, you're probably up the creek anyway. But Sequeira over Mejera. That just makes no sense. Alvarado, I could see. I still think he's a third keeper. I think he should be there, though, if you push up. But Sequeira? That just makes no sense. Navas, I get. But then you go curveball with your other two keepers. Maybe you're like, we don't need them. It doesn't really matter. If we need them, we're up the creek anyway. Type of stuff. Fair enough, but still though, really? Alright. Defenders. Francisco Calvo of Konyaspor, Turkey. Juan Pablo Vargas of Millonarios FC. I think that's Argentina. It's South America, I know that, but I think it's Argentina. Kendall Waston of Saprissa, former Vancouver Whitecap, former FC Cincinnati player. Oscar Duarte of Al Hueda. Saudi? Somewhere around there. It's one of the Arab state teams. I know that. Daniel Chacon, Colorado Rapids. Keisha Fuller of Herediano, Costa Rica. Carlos Martinez, San Carlos. AD San Carlos from... Not is a Costa Rican team, yes. Brian Oviedo, Real Salt Lake. And Ronald Matarrita of FC Cincinnati. Not too bad. The usual suspects. You got Calvo, Waston, Fuller, Oviedo, Matarrita. Oviedo has had a pretty good season, though, I thought. Chacon, Duarte, Vargas. It's all the usual suspects. I'm not really shocked about anything defenders-wise for the Costa Rican roster. It's not really a shock. I'm not surprised. You got what you got. It's a tough defensive unit. Calvo's always somehow good for Costa Rica. Waston is great. Fuller's been playing well. Matarrita. Question is do you play Waston at center back to play Matarrita or Fuller at the wing? I think that's what you do. Honestly. But defenders, I have no problem with that. Midfielders, Yeltsin Tejeda of Herediano, Celso Borges of Alajuelense, Houston Salas of Saprissa, Rohan Wilson of Grecia. That's got to be Greece, right? Could be Italy, though. Jerson Torres of Herediano, Douglas Lopez of Herediano, Jusin Bennett of Sunderland, formerly of Herediano, but got his move in the summer during CONCACAF League, didn't play Pacific, all that story you remember. Alvaro Zamora of Saprissa, Anthony Hernandez of Puntarenas FC, Brandon Aguilera of Nottingham Forest, and Brian Ruiz from Alajuelense, who's retiring overall after this World Cup. He will have a testimonial against Twente with Alajuelense the day before the World Cup final. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. You're not going that deep, but if you do, the world's going to be burning soon. Who knows? Probably. Yeltsin Tejeda, good forward or midfielder. Celso Borges could dictate a game as well as Ruiz. He still plays very well, but I guess since he knows this is it, puts a lot more into it. We'll see what happens at the World Cup. I think he'll be not a star, but a big scene or a big player in the World Cup, a big situation. I can't say star, though. Juicin Bennett. I think it's more likely he plays on the wing. I think that's more likely that he plays on the wing instead of the midfield. This roster, he's technically more of a forward. But if he could play in the midfield, drop back, play the 10, that would be great. I think he did play the wing against New Zealand, though. So, there you go. He has been playing the wing a bit more, but maybe he's just as good as a 10. So, we'll see. Again, when Herediano really got that spotlight, he wasn't there. Pretty good group. Nothing really to be hard against. Nottingham Forest Aguilera. That's a pretty good move. I don't know how much time he'd get, but good player. Midfielders are good as well. The only thing that really stands out so far is A.K.A. That's the only thing that stands out so far that really makes me wonder. And then finally, forwards, Joel Campbell of Club Leon, Anthony Contreras of Herediano, and Johan Venegas of Alajuelense. I don't know if Johan really plays a big part in this World Cup, of course, because Bennett is playing very well. Contreras of Herediano. Contreras is a very good player. He played well against New Zealand. He played well in CONCACAF League. I think he starts. Now, that probably means Joel Campbell starts as a striker. I think that's what happens. Venegas, I think he might be on the outside looking in. He's a great player. He has history, but I think he's on the outside looking in. So, for me, that front line would probably be Bennett, Campbell, Contreras, probably. That's my guess on a start. So if you want me to make a guess about the first 11, that would be Keylor Navas in goal. The back four, Kendall Waston, Francisco Calvo, Ronald Matarrita, Francisco Calvo, Kendall Waston, and then Keisha Fuller at the back four. Midfielder, I would go with 3. Celso Borges, Brian Ruiz, and Yeltsin Tejeda probably is the 3. Then I would go, of course, Bennett, Contreras, Campbell. Bennett, Contreras is the wingers. Campbell is the striker. That would probably be my 11. Not too bad. Nothing special, but it'll fight. I don't know how much well they'll do in the group, but they'll fight. So that's what I see there for Costa Rica. But now we got to push forward into the U.S.'s group. Let's go with it. Now we're on to the main event of the U.S. World Cup roster. Now we're really getting into the good meat of the steak. We're cutting into that right now. 3 goalkeepers, of course. You got Ethan Horvath of Luton Town, Sean Johnson at NYCFC, and Matt Turner of Arsenal. Good thing Stefan's out, because honestly, he's not been great this year. He's not played well. He got to move to get more playing time. Hasn't worked out at all. Horvath has been better. Sean Johnson almost led NYCFC to another Eastern Conference Championship and another MLS Cup. Came up a bit short, but against Philly, but still been a pretty damn good keeper this year. Honestly, he might be the second keeper on this squad, tell you the truth, in my book. And Matt Turner for Arsenal played well for the Revs over the past year and a half. Went to Arsenal. He's played well in Europe. He's played well in cup games. Matt Turner is the best keeper right here. Not might. He is the best keeper here. And I think he definitely starts. But Stefan, that's a good miss. That's a good one not to have. I think it's a definite. He should not have been there. He is not there. Good move by Berhalter. And that's hard for me to say, but there you go. Defenders. Cameron Carter-Vickers of Celtic. Been very good with Celtic under Ange Postecoglou. Very good, very good. Serginho Dest of AC Milan. Playing well at Milan. Barca kind of threw him by the wayside, but he's been good at Milan. Serginho Dest, a.k.a. one of my dad's favorite players. You love Serginho Dest. Ever since 2019. Aaron Long of the New York Red Bulls. Everybody doesn't like that he's on this roster. Scares me because Toronto's probably going for him, aren't they? That scares me. Shaq Moore of Nashville SC. Honestly, when it came to that playoff game, him and Jacob Schaffelberg were the 2 best players on that team. And he was one of the main reasons they got to the playoffs is at the level they did. Shaq Moore and Schaffelberg and Mukhtar. So, one of Nashville's 3 best players. That's a good pick for Shaq Moore. Tim Ream of Fulham, playing very well with Fulham. Playing very well for Tony Khan's men. Well, he owns the team, but you get my point. Tim Ream, good center back, playing very well. Anthony Jedi. I've seen Star Wars before. Jedi Robinson. Anthony Jedi Robinson. You kind of have that little connect. That wasn't great. Of Fulham, Anthony Jedi Robinson. He wants to be called Jedi, so there you go. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's played well. Good pick. Good pick. Joe Scally of Borussia Mönchengladbach. I don't have a problem saying that. All right. Joe Scally, good defender. He's had a good season. Passable. Good to be on the squad. I don't think he starts, but he's good to be on the squad. DeAndre Yedlin of Inter Miami CF had an amazing season in MLS. Made the All-Star team. I think he may be within a shout to start on this team. He may. He may. And Walker Zimmerman in Nashville SC. I think he's the starting center back. I think he's one of the 2 starting center backs, but that's a good move. Walker's played well. He's always been pretty stout, pretty strong. We got Zimmerman on the roster. Midfielders, Brennan Aronson of Leeds United, damn good pick. And he's definitely starting in that midfield 3. Kellen Acosta of LAFC, MLS Cup champion Kellen Acosta, might I add. Definitely, well, no, he ain't starting. But he'll definitely play a part in the World Cup. It's a good pick there. Tyler Adams of Leeds United. Tyler Adams is going to start at the 6. No question about it. We all know it. But again, playing very well. Same Tyler Adams we've noticed for years and years. For 4 years. 4 or 5 years, because 2017 was his breakout in MLS. I mean, he did play that game against Chelsea, but his breakout was 2017. But 5 years of Tyler Adams. Still pretty good. Even better. But he's grown and grown and grown. Luca De La Torre of Celta de Vigo. Luca De La Torre is a damn good player, and it's a good thing he's on this squad. That's one of the players I wasn't so sure about, but I think he deserves to be on the squad. Damn good player. All that type of stuff. Weston McKennie of Juventus, of course, was going to be there. Yunus Musa of Valencia. I thought he was injured, but they called him up anyway. Maybe I'm mistaken, but they called him up anyway. Christian Roldan of Seattle Sounders. See, the midfielders were great until we got to Roldan. The midfielders were a great call up until Roldan, but I guess we had to have one of Berhalter's MLS guys. Or one of his favorites, let's put it like that. But midfielders, damn strong. Damn strong. Probably the best part of the team, to be honest. Forwards, here's the problem. Here's what pisses me off. Jesus Ferreira, not exactly, but Jesus Ferreira of FC Dallas played well this season. I don't think he should be the starting striker. Hell, anybody they called up shouldn't be the starting striker when it comes to actual strikers. But, okay, he should play a part. Not too bad. Jordan Morris, he's been horrible this year. Why Jordan Morris of Seattle Sounders? Jordan Morris has been horrible this year. Horrible. Why? Like, this ain't the old Jordan Morris. This ain't the Jordan Morris who ripped Canada apart. This ain't the Jordan Morris who got to Swansea City. What are you doing? No. Christian Pulisic of Chelsea. You knew Captain America would be there. He's a fraud, but he's there. Gio Reyna, probably starting at the wing. Him and Pulisic are probably both starting at the wing, so maybe the Jordan Morris call wasn't so bad, but Jordan Morris is your depth. Sargent. Jordan Morris is your depth. All right. Tim Weah. Well, Tim Weah as well. Fair enough. You got Pulisic, Weah, Reyna, Sargent, Morris. Okay, it's not that bad, but again, Josh Sargent is on the team. He's been playing much better. People still overrated him where I am, but He's becoming that player. He's getting there incrementally. He's getting better. I'll give him that. He's doing well with Norwich. I'll give him that. Tim Weah of Lille. Tim Weah, great player. Deserves to be on the squad. This is the one that pisses me off. Haji Wright, Antalyaspor. Why? And it's not because of Ricardo Pepi. Ricardo Pepi does not deserve to be there. Do not tell me that a half a season at Groningen in the Dutch league and him scoring goals like that is enough. It is not. He will fall apart like a wilting rose at the World Cup. Pepi does not deserve to be on this roster. That is not why I'm pissed off. Haji Wright. Honestly, good striker. But you take Jordan Morris and Jesus Ferreira over, and Haji Wright over Pefok. Jordan Pefok. Jordan Pefok has carried Union Berlin to first up until this past week in the Bundesliga. And you don't go Jordan Pefok. Huh? Explain to me how that makes any sense. Explain to me how that makes any sense. I know Greg Berhalter's an idiot. I know that. But you're going to tell me Haji Wright and Jesus Ferreira. And I'm not slating these guys. And hell, Jordan Morris, you should be the odd one out, frankly. 3 strikers, 3 wingers isn't too bad. Or 4 wingers, 3 strikers isn't too bad. You got 2 strikers and 5 wingers. And you could put Aronson up there, so that's honestly 6. What are you doing? What are you doing? No Pefok. That's the one thing that gets me. Starting striker, Pefok. Prove that he's worth it. Prove that he is that guy. Over a year. You might as well have just taken Josie Altidore. I mean, he's been playing well at Puebla. If you were going to take Jordan Morris, you might as well have took Josie Altidore. He's actually playing good in Mexico. I'm shocked. I know. But, I'm shocked. But that's going to hurt the U.S., trust me. You have Ferreira and Haji Wright, and you think that's going to carry you past the round of 16. You're getting out of the group, don't worry. England's a fraud. Wales will probably get second. I'm still sticking with it. And then Iran third. Or fourth, I should say. U.S. first. You will win the group. Only because that group is so fraudulent. You're fraudulent too, but you're the least fraudulent and most talented of the teams. And Greg Berhalter has won trophies. It doesn't really count because it's CONCACAF. But he's won trophies. That is something Gareth Southgate has not done. So he's technically a serial winner, Greg Berhalter. Not because of himself, but because of his talent. At least he knows how to use his talent. But you're telling me that... Oh, I can tell you right now, Brendan Aronson's probably going to play false 9. I guarantee it at some point. They're going to play Brendan Aronson or freaking Pulisic or Reyna as a false 9. And you could say, but Reyna could be a striker. He's a good player. False 9? I think that's wasting him. Let's go through a starting 11. The first match. What would the starting 11 be? Because I'm befuddled, but whatever. Matt Turner, starting goalkeeper. Back 4. I got DeAndre Yedlin, Walker Zimmerman, Tim Ream, and Serginho Dest. Frankly, I think Yedlin's just a slight bit better than Robinson right now over the season. I'm going to go with Yedlin. Midfielders, the midfield 3, I'm going to go Tyler Adams at the 6, Brendan Aronson, and Weston McKennie going forward. I'm going to go with, for the forwards, the 3 forwards, I'm going to go Pulisic, Ferreira, Jesus Ferreira, and Gio Reyna. No PFOC, really. That spot is made for Jordan PFOC. Oh my God. Greg Berhalter. Nobody's defending it, but oh my. That's my 11. That's my 11 for the U.S. roster. The midfield's the best part of that team. The midfield is the strongest part of that team. The defense, you could go other ways. You could go other permutations. They're not crap, but they're not great. The goalkeepers, I think it's the best you could do. In the forwards, oh my God, that was butchered. And not in a good way. Not like you're making freaking Kobe beef steaks. No, you're butchering it like you're trying to butcher some stew meat and turn it into a freaking 5-star steak. You're taking rump and trying to make it into a 5-star steak. You're legitimately nuts. Call that cleaver. Here's Johnny. Or here's Berhalter. Jesus. Oh my God. The forwards were absolutely botched. That is no question whatsoever. They botched the forwards. Botched it. Jordan Morris should not be there. If this was a year ago, I'll give you that. Right now, no. Ferreira, fine. Haji Wright, good player. Not a starter. No Jordan PFOC, not a starter. He's no Jordan PFOC and he's not a starter. Pulisic, fraud, but he was going to be there. Gio Reyna, probably the best forward on that team. Josh Sargent, you could say, could be the starting striker, but he's more of a winger. He could float in and do all that. He could do either. But Norwich, though, you really want to put your hopes on Josh Sargent. Botched. Botched. With that being said, if you liked this video, this Costa Rica and U.S. roster reaction, if you like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification once subscribed, send super chats on the live streams, comment on this video, put this in playlist, share with friends and family, all that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for a Canada-Bahrain watch-along and review. I'll see you then. This will be up within the hour, and I'll see you about half a day later for Canada-Bahrain. So, by the time this goes up. So, with that being said, I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Greg Berhalter. Hat flick for you. Jesus.